Well, Dave, obviously the news today is Edwin Diaz. You had mentioned last night that he just didn't look right. What led to the decision then, I'm assuming, to have imaging to understand that there were some loose bodies in his right elbow?
Yeah, well, obviously we all saw, the stuff last night, and it was set up, red flags. And so after the game, he had a conversation with our training staff and felt that he had some elbow discomfort, and kind of looking at what was going on last night. So we just wanted to be proactive and felt that it was smart to get an MRI, get imaging, which we did do, and it showed loose bodies. And so it happens with players, and so it just kind of came to a head last night, and so we felt get the surgery scheduled and expect a second half return.
Considering it is so early in the season, does this at least feel somewhat like best case scenario of finding out this now, being able to schedule the surgery and putting him in a position in which he could be available second half?
Yes, yeah. I think given, you losing your starter to a surgery, this is, I would say, best case scenario.
Just to be clear, yesterday was the first time he mentioned anything about the elbow?
Yep.
Did he say if it had been bothering him before, or that was the first time he felt it?
First time he felt it. And so, not to make it about myself, but I had that same surgery at the end of my career, and it's something that just, you have loose bodies and they're asymptomatic until they're not. And so I can kind of relate to, what he was going through. So it just happened last night, and it's unfortunate.
How long did it take you to come back?
It was like I don't recall. It was that 2008 season for me, so I don't really recall.
Does that provide some clarity as to why the velocity was maybe down to start the season?
It does, and so I think for us is but again, that's the first time that we felt or he felt anything or there's any signs of it. So as soon as we found out, we try to do something about it and get imaging, and it was telling and giving us good information, and to then now go ahead with the surgery. So yeah, but it is good to have some validation on why, the velocity was down.
And it was just the loose bodies, or wasn't anything with the ligament or anything else?
Nope, not at all.
When you say the second half, what is realistic? Do you kind of have a time frame of what you guys are looking at?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that just to be vague and broad kind of gives us some wiggle room, because I don't think anyone knows. Yeah.
As far as the closer situation now, who closes for you? Does it go back to Tanner?
Yeah, I would say, I don't know that. There could be a big spot in the seventh where I feel that could be the game. And so I do feel comfortable with, a handful of guys really that I feel that can close out games for us. So right now I'm not going to name a closer.
How drastically does that change the way you use the bullpen now, though?
It does change it in a big way. I do think that, being able to deploy guys in their right lanes or pockets, I think has been helpful. But with that, I do think that, Alex has been throwing the baseball really well. Tanner's been throwing the baseball really well. And outside of last night, Blake's throwing the baseball really well. So, but it does kind of not allow us to work, from the back end, which is certainly a luxury.